Should I pull up comments? Should this be the time to air grievances? I feel like I need to do this. No comments on that one. No comments on that one. No comments on that one. 10 comments on this one. Yeah, okay. All right, let's talk about it. I feel like we need to correct. Either this was our worst take ever, or we did not communicate our position correctly.
On which one?
So we had a short. It was a full video about specialization versus generalization. And what's funny is if you actually watched the episode, we make a case for specialization.
Wow, way to like shove it in people's faces.
I know. I felt
No, I
got slammed on this one. So we do two shorts. One was
why you should specialize, or
why
specialize is a liability.
Yes.
And then why should you specialize?
Yes. And we probably should have released them in opposite order. But yeah, so
I don't think it would have mattered.
Yeah,
because,
you're right.
Yeah.
So we released this one that says don't be a liability. And that's a real problem that I don't think people either care about or realize. And I just want to read some of these comments. So and we'll like put these up here so you can see it. So one was, so everyone is full stack. Like you could sort of hear the sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, no, that's not what we were saying. We were saying that there's a case for full stack and there's a case for specialization. Everybody shouldn't be a specialist, but you need specialists. Oh, yeah, this one was really this one hurt. This is the mentality of someone who is good at nothing and wants everyone to be like him. I don't want everybody to be like me. In fact,
Well, I think we talked about this, right? It's the jack of all trades, master of none. Like that's a true thing.
Hold on though. Wait. Because people don't finish that quote. Jack of all trades, master of none, full quote. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes is better than a master of one. That's the full quote. The jack of all, that quote actually is a compliment, but we cut it short. Kind of an anecdote for what people did to me. They cut it short
on the short.
It was meant to be a compliment. A jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. That quote never was intended to be a slight at the generalist.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of those stupid things that I know. See, I'm not stupid. Just to be clear, like, we hired a DBA, we hired a UI specialist. We're considering hiring a mobile specialist. Specialization is something we value, but it's hard because if they're the only person in the company that knows how to do it, and they quit, which happens a lot, there's a lot of turnover.
Or if they don't quit, and what they do is they shield themselves in a lot of cruft and noise.
It's dangerous for a company.
Yeah. And especially if that person is toxic too.
This other person said, and this, like, I really appreciated this comment because this one was actually hey, I think you're wrong, but they weren't toxic about it. Why would they want to undermine their position? They make extra money precisely because they know something you don't. That's a really valid question. Mm-hmm. I want you to answer that because I think that's a mindset that a lot of people have. What is your take on it? This is me wanting to direct all of the negative comments towards you.
Yeah.
But why?
Well, I mean, because that's really a stance that I live, right? Is like for me personally, and you asked me this question a couple of weeks ago. It's like, what makes you feel like you don't want to be a liability, right? Like, I said this to the owner one of the first weeks that I started working at our place, and I was just like, I want you to keep me on staff, not because you have to, but because you want to.
Yeah.
Right. Because like it's funny in kind of how we do our business is I have a lot of institutional knowledge in what we do, but honestly, like a little bit is out of selfishness. Of I don't want to answer everyone's questions. So the comment of is it undermining? I can definitely see the argument of like where you might feel that way, but if you have to answer the same questions day in, day out, because people can't learn why they're making a bad decision. How can you progress your stance, the platform, any of that? Because all you're literally doing is cleaning up the same mess day in, day out.
You're maintaining. Now, there are people that want that. I just want to maintain the thing that I built, and I don't want to do anything else. And that seems like such a miserable mindset to have. But I know people that would like that. This is my little thing. I know it. Nobody else does. I take comfort in that. And I'm not trying to dismiss that point of view, because I can understand it. The idea that if I teach somebody how to do this, I've worked my way out of a job. I think the fallacy here is that you're safe if nobody knows what you know. I don't think any job is truly safe. So the best way to be safe in your career, I think, is to constantly evolve your learning and to develop new skills and new talent. And you can't really do that if you're constantly looking back and maintaining the stuff that you did.
And this is agnostic of being a generalist or a specialist. This is
actually an argument
being in your career.
Yeah, this is actually an argument to become a deeper specialist. Like, if the DBA at a company wants to move the platform to stateless,
like cloud computing, whatever,
hyper-scaled, SQL, they don't have time to do that if they're writing views and store procedures for the dev team. The best way for them to be able to work on that cool new stuff is to teach the people the mundane things and help them become self-sufficient and self-sustaining. Technology is constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking of the reporting, and we're going to come up to this at some point, is the reporting solutions.
Yeah.
Like SSRS or SSIS or things like that. Like, they're not as... Those tools are not all of them, but some of those tools, like SQL Profile, like Microsoft is like, I'm not going to support these anymore.
So you
need to find alternatives.
Yep. You've made your specialization something that is dying. It's very dangerous. And especially now, I feel like the pace at which technology changes now is very different than it was 10 years ago.
Right. Those specializations, it depends on the system that you work in. Because if you're working on like an intranet, and like you have, you're still going to work on your Windows 7 operating system, and you're going to have SQL Server 2008, and like you're never going to change from that. First of all, like, okay, like good on you for being able to lock down your internal network, but like that's not every job.
Well, and every company is susceptible to acquisition, and every acquisition is an opportunity for a complete overhaul in technology. So you may be safe in knowing your legacy architecture, but no business owner owns a business forever. So who's to say that if under new management or under new ownership, that they don't view all of this legacy technology that you've built your career on as a liability, and they just rip that Band-Aid off now rather than later. And businesses will do that. They'll incur the pain, the short-term pain, in order for a long-term payoff.
Right. One, because they have no, again, this is back to loyalty, right? Do they have any loyalty to you? No, you're a brand new person. Like, what do they care? Like,
the last comment, which is kind of along the same, it's by Leglu. Make yourself replaceable so you can get disposed of later. No thanks. I think this... I can appreciate the sentiment here, but this assumes that by making yourself irreplaceable, you're never going to get disposed of. I've known businesses who have explicitly targeted people like this as a liability because they realize that they're being held hostage by an employee who is unwilling to teach other people.
Well, and it's not just teaching; it's I guess it is or just gatekeeping. Right.
Yeah,
like I'm the only one that can work on this.
Yeah. It has a short-term payoff, but long-term it can be a detriment to your career. So I kind of wanted to read those comments because this video, it's funny. It didn't get that many views.
But the short
got destroyed. The most likes we've had, and we don't get a lot of likes. We're not that popular of a channel, but the most likes we've ever had, but almost all the comments were like, heavily negative. Please leave a comment if you appreciate what we do, because sometimes I question my own sanity.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, there's the one person, and this is exactly the content that they were looking for.
Yeah. So when we got a comment where it was like, hey, I really appreciate what you do. This is exactly what I was looking for. We immediately reached out to all of our friends to see, like, were you the one that wrote that? Because their opinion's going to be biased. But yeah.
Yeah. Nope. Somehow it was not, or one of our friends aligned to us. But you know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
We're here to help, give advice, but a lot of it is, if anything that we're able to afford can help anyone, these are things that work for us, and if it can work for you as well, then more power to you.
Yeah.